If purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable.
Right, we are here again, another exciting episode of Far From Finished. And again, I always want to thank you for joining with us as we walk on this journey and get to know much about ourselves and much about what we face on a daily basis. Today, we want to look at a very interesting topic, yet serious one. And it's not just one that affects young people, but it affects all walks of life. And that is the issue of depression. Yes, depression. There are a lot of persons recorded, if not recorded, dealing with depression in all aspects of life. You get it from as small as 12 years, go right, and even some people might think that even beyond 12 years, as a 9-year-old or 10-year-old, people might think that they don't suffer with depression, but depression is really an issue that is plaguing our society and plaguing the lives of persons. And we just want to take a look at it in a very short aspect, but I believe as we go into it, you're going to realize that there is a lot of things that can come out, helping us to understand how much depression affects our everyday life. And one of the things about depression is understanding its definition. And the definition of depression is feelings of severe despondency and dejection. That's basically what it means. It's severe. So it means that on our everyday life, everyday walk of life, we do have times where we may feel sad, we may feel alone, we may feel despondent about situations. But when it becomes severe, and severe to the point that there seems like there's hopelessness in actually dealing with a situation, this is where depression can actually seep in. So there are some warning signs we want to look for, especially if you are dealing with depression and you may not know. And just as I said, hopelessness is one warning sign of depression, where you have severe feelings that you cannot make it, you cannot overcome a situation, or you cannot jump over a hurdle. That's one warning sign. Another warning sign is loss of interest in daily activities. Now, I ain't gonna try to make myself out here, but if you're a fella always moving about and you realize that there are daily activities that you're always involved in and you realize now there's a loss of interest in it, it may be a warning sign of depression. Another aspect is change in appetite and your weight. Now, there are some people who want to put on weight. Me, I trying to get some off the stomach. But in terms of your appetite, you'd realize that there's a change. If you realize there's a change in your appetite, it may not be necessarily a sickness. It may be a sickness of the mind. And that sickness of the mind can be an issue, a warning sign of depression. You may be going through a period in your life and it changes your whole appetite. It changes your whole weight. When they say when people get tabanga, and you realize some people when they had a good size and then after they get out of bank they just drop weight. Yeah, sometimes that could be depression in itself. And another aspect of it is sleeplessness. Now, that is one area I realized for me personally, I had to look at and deal with, especially with loss of sleep. If you ever recognize that your sleeping patterns have changed and you realize that you find it difficult to sleep, and sometimes you try to do things to get to sleep, it can be a warning sign of depression. And these are just some. I mean, if you have an opportunity to go on Google and look up some other warning signs, these are just some of it. And one of the things that I was looking at in looking at these warning signs, I realized that most of these warning signs or symptoms have a lot to do with how you think. And that is one of the things we're going to be looking at throughout this journey, is changing the way you think. So let's transform our world by transforming our mind and know that what God started in you, He is not finished. God bless.
If purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable.